Hey everyone, welcome back to Triple R Reaper. Look at my clam. Look at my clam. Look at it. Beautiful. A little pissy from a water change, aside from the sand bed. And anyway, he's looking still pretty. Look at my clam. Alright, I'll move on. Sorry about that. We'll move on to another clam. Oh my, another beautiful Maxima clam. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry. So those are my two new clams. I sold the old one. There you go. One of these DeRosa clams are sold too. Moving on to bigger and better. Hopefully those guys do okay. So quickly, I want to touch on the fish situation. I don't want to say bragging, but I guess giving advice on, if this is clear. I was giving advice on, there we go. I was giving advice on copperband butterflies. And wouldn't you know, the next day that guy was dead. So, unfortunate. Could have been from shipping. I found him stuck to an MP40. Highly doubt that fish just got sucked to it, but regardless, he's gone. I contacted Adam at Ocean Devotion, and he offered to replace him. I was like, man, that's so cool. I'll pay for shipping, since I kind of want to help the guy out. He's doing the right thing, and hopefully I can get some more fish from him too. So another reason why I highly recommend Ocean Devotion LA. So if you're even remotely thinking about buying a fish, please check them out. So that's that fish. The leopards from Dr. Reef quarantine fish, they are both gone. They didn't ship well at all. So he's replacing those. Another did the right thing guy, and that is super cool. Very happy with that. I'm actually going to get a couple extra fish from him, so to hopefully make up for that, his loss. Some of these people, this is their source of income, and some of them, they do it on the side. He's one that does it on the side, so I'm not trying to have the guy lose money, or try to make him as whole as possible. It's obviously not my fault either, but still, very cool of him to do that. That guy's name's Mike, by the way, with Dr. Reef's quarantine fish. Okay, so that's that. I wanted to, oh man, almost forgot. This guy here. How about a blue spot jawfish? What a cool fish. Very happy with this guy. I forgot to show him, but he was hiding under a cave anyway. He's just now moved here a few days ago. So if he would come out, that'd be awesome too. But hey, he looked like he's just in his burrow doing his thing. So yeah, he is one of the newer fish we added. Got him from Marine Collectors. I specifically wanted to buy from him on this fish because I know he sources some of the higher end specimens that are caught well, or caught maybe a different way, and not. I feel like I'm going to get the best chances with these guys. So anyway, got him from Marine Collectors. Elliot does awesome job too. Really, again, all of them do a great job. That's him. Hadn't named the rest of these fish yet. Ghost, the yellow captive bred yellow tang, is pretty damn yellow now. That's within just a few days. Anyway, so that's that. I wanted to just make this video about, I guess, really a couple of things. I probably will just do keep it to one topic, because my videos set records, it seems like, every time. And I don't know if maybe that's why I'm not getting as many views, or maybe it's the YouTube algorithm or whatever, but I don't know. Some people may not want to watch a 20-minute video or a 30-minute long video. I actually enjoy those myself, but I usually, anyway. So let me grab my list. I actually made a list of the things, so it wasn't all total ramble. Let's see here. That's the wrong one. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, probably should have already had this. There she is. Oh, also I replaced this MP40. I was tired of the little hum. So that's a new MP40. Sounds a lot better, a lot more quiet. I did rehome I did move my Ghanies to a buddy's tank, and they're like within a few days we're already looking better. So I'm glad I was able to get those to a tank that's I guess going to support those Ghanies. This green one is probably going to be the next one to go. Oh, what the hell's going on there? Never had issues, and all of a sudden I do. I'm hopeful that with all these fish in here, though, I have a lot better luck moving forward. We'll see. I'll really know if the ORA Yanni starts shitting the bed. Then I'm in, and then I'll know. So anyway, moving on. So this is my topic I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to probably end up having to do more because you can talk about these for a while. And again, I'm trying to keep my videos to a decent amount of time. But my topic is going to be myths in the hobby, and otherwise anecdotal spewed crap on the internet. It's super frustrating because you'll hear people just parrot things, and without, I don't know, even I guess scientists can be wrong, but without real scientific proof, people just say what's been said to them. Bulk Reef Supply, or BRS Investigates, they do a lot of cool videos, and they really try to help the community. I'll watch every one of them, okay? But you should realize that everyone's fallible, and they're just trying to give you the best information they can with what testing they can do. I say that because you shouldn't believe everybody. You shouldn't believe even me. You should doubt everything that you read, and try to do your own research the best you can. There's people that are, I would call, pros in this hobby, that people consider pros, that I've heard just say outlandish things. I mean, absolutely outlandish, great things. I would just be like, man, come on, really? There's no way you believe that. I won't say who that person was. I actually really respect this person. I think that they are as knowledgeable as they come as far as the hobby goes. But, again, people can be wrong. All right, moving on. So the first myth that I feel like should be discussed today is ick and velvet cannot be cured. Let me just tell you something right now. That's just bullcrap. Ick and velvet absolutely can be cured. It does not have to be in your reef tank. It does require a lot of perfection, which is very hard to achieve in such a, I want to say, dynamic system that it's not forgiving in a sense. So yes, it requires quarantine fish. It requires maybe you to. It generally would require you to quarantine anything that's wet that goes into your tank to be perfect. That's just a good rule. And that's because anything that has a drop of water has the chances of having ick or velvet with it. It's microscopic. It can be there. So ick and velvet does not magically appear. It is not just in your fish. It does not work that way. It is a known parasite, it's studied. It's got scientific research behind it. This is not something that's an unknown or even remotely debatable. Okay, so anyone that says that you will have ick in your system is just wrong. Period. The end. I don't quarantine my inverts or my corals, so there is that small chance that I can have it come back in. That is just a chance I'm willing to take. Unfortunately, I don't want to deal with a quarantine for corals and inverts. I just don't believe that you can keep the stability it takes to do it right. 76 days in a little small tank, you got to have basically replicate exactly this in another small tank, and chances are you're going to lose it. Anyway, it's a risk versus reward for me, and for that reason, I'm out. Okay, moving on. Let's see here. Ooh, this is probably the most touchy subject for me, and I cannot stand this one. Okay, so cyanobacteria and what you should do to fix it. I don't, it's kind of maybe said that goofy, but let me just tell you, cyanobacteria. There's very few easy wins in this hobby. I would say maybe two exist. Maybe there's more. I don't know. Just thinking in my head, there's two that I can think of that are easy wins. Um, Bropsis with using fluconazole, and cyanobacteria using ChemiClean or whatever red slime remover that you want to pick. Cyanobacteria, I don't care what anyone says. I have seen people with MP4 myself, okay, but I've seen other tanks. You can look, and their tank right in front of the power head is just cyanobacteria, okay, right in front of it. You can't tell me that you just need more flow. There's some dead spots. I've seen people with damn near zeros on everything, and they've got cyanobacteria. Oh, you need to balance out your nutrients. Your phosphates and nitrates, they're a little off. Don't use chemicals. Uh, Let me just let y'all know something, okay? In case you didn't know this, okay? This whole hobby is based around chemicals. What do you think salt is? Everything has chemicals in it, okay? You're playing Mother Nature with some chemicals. My point is that these chemicals sometimes can be your best friend. There is I honestly think there's zero risk. Of course, there's not zero risk. There's some risk to using ChemiClean. If you don't follow the instructions, there is risk there. Okay, if you follow the instructions, I have seen no losses ever from anyone. Fish, corals, inverts, period. Clams, everything. Okay, it is safe to use. ChemiClean works. It works very, very, very well. I've dealt with it before. I'll give you one little tip real quick, and we'll move on from this one. One of the downsides of using it is that your skimmer is going to go absolutely stupid. It's known, and it's just the way it goes. But in order to fix that after the treatment's over, so after all the cyanobacteria is gone, what you'll do is just grab a bucket and let the skimmer overflow into the bucket. The skimmer is going to end up pulling out the rest of that ChemiClean, and it's going to make it so much easier for you to get this stuff back in check. And so, you'll use carbon, you'll do a water change. Yeah, that still will not be enough. I've never seen anyone their skimmer just work right after doing what they say to do. So that is a little tip. It works awesome. The skimmer will eventually remove the rest of the ChemiClean, and you're all done. Of course, you'll need to have water. It'll be basically like a water change, okay? Okay, let's see here. Oh, here we go. I'm already at what? 13. Okay, we may make this in the last one. Maybe two more. Okay, you need a certain size tank for certain fish, and you can have too many fish. Now, I'll just say this. Yeah, within reason, that's, I guess, not a myth, depending on how you want to really get into the details of that. But you don't need a certain size tank for certain fish as a rule, okay? I mean, look at this yellowtail, okay? By most standards, that guy I could put in a 10-gallon tank, maybe a 5-gallon for a little while, okay? But if you go look at what people say, oh, no, you can't. You need at least a 120 or a 90 or whatever, 75, who cares? Doesn't matter. The point is that they're boxing people in on certain fish. Now, certain fish are going to grow extremely fast, and you're going to have a plan for them, because you're not going to keep a batfish in a 10-gallon tank. It's just not going to work. But the standard of, hey, this fish has to stay in this size aquarium or it's just not going to live, it's just bullcrap. I have got more fish in this tank than most people would absolutely recommend at any point. Fish that are going to grow too big by most standards, and I will rehome most of these fish that once they get to the size, and I'll just start over. No big deal. So yeah, you do want to kind of have a plan once a fish, the hippo gets to, over a foot long. That's just going to look goofy in here. So You can have a fish in whatever tank you want to. You can have as many fish as you want to in your tank. Just be ready for what comes with that, which is generally piss poor water quality, and it's just a little bit harder. Once you loaded up your bacteria, they grow with the population of their food. So you're not going to have a look at this. You don't have a chance, buddy. So they're going to grow with the population of their food. So you have more fish, the population of bacteria is going to grow. Of course, you can overwhelm that, and you do want to try your best to, slowly add the fish up to it, or try to make sure that they have a good source of food to grow with the load of fish you put on there. My point is that you can have as many fish as you want to. There's no, believe it or not, no real tank police exist. I can put as many tanks as I want to in this tank, and I'm not going to go to jail for it. I don't recommend that. I want you to get the fish you want to within reason, without people just setting all these rules that are they're just not. You can do what you want to. Okay, it's your tank. All right, that's enough of that. I think you get my point. Let's do one more. Oh man, some of these are pretty good. Oh, okay. All right, this is the last one. This is a good one, I think. Time in the reefing hobby, or time of your reef tank, means that you can start keeping certain corals or certain fish, certain inverts, whichever one. Just insert which one you want. So, first of all, I've seen expert level people I've seen people that are 30-year reefers that should be experts that are absolutely clueless. Okay, maybe it's just because they have done it for an accumulation of 30 years, but they've never grown with the knowledge that's come about over those decades. So that's one possibility. I've seen people that really just don't know what they're talking about. Period. They just don't know. When you start talking about a reef tank and how, again, I'm going to use the word dynamic. These things, yes, they can be gone in a heartbeat. In one day, with one wrong thing, if my little girl puts her hands in this tank and has some doo-doo on her finger, I don't know, it could wipe this whole thing out. But just because you've been in the hobby for a long time, doesn't mean that you're an expert. So when you feel you are ready to tackle certain fish, certain inverts, you have found the ability, you have mastered the ability to keep stability in your tank. Put whatever you want to in your tank, okay? Just know that you're responsible for that fish or that life, okay? That's your pet. If you think of these animals like that, it really does help. The time part, that one just irks me to death, because I've kept anemones in tanks that were just cycled. I had put clams in tanks that were just cycled. Corals, none of these animals know how old your tank is. It's a matter of stability. So as soon as your tank can be held at numbers that are reasonable, put you an anemone in there. I'm telling you, I've kept, what I've done is kind of an anecdotal statement, but my point is, you don't need to have your tank running for a year so that you can keep an anemone. That's a bullcrap number. A year. So what if it was 364 days? Am I out? What if it was 9 months? If it's 2 months and you know what you're doing, you've got your alkalinity locked in, you know how to handle issues that are going to come about with a newer reef tank, by all means, add what you want to. There is no rule that says you have to wait a certain time to add a certain animal to your tank. That's real, okay? Some people are putting corals in on tanks that aren't even cycled yet. It works. I personally probably wouldn't do it. I've never done that, so I don't have experience in that that way of doing things. So I wouldn't do it. But that rule of you got to cycle your tank was bull crap. Okay. Anyway, the time in the hobby does not make you an expert. It's your experience. Okay, your experience. I haven't been in this hobby a crazy amount of time, but my God, have I experienced some crap, and I've learned a whole lot. I think it's when people believe that they can't learn anything else, or that hey, I'm an expert, and there's nothing more for me. I know it all. That's when you really have you've done a disservice to yourself and to your animals. Goodness, look at that home wrecker. Golly. That's real colors, by the way. That is what I'm seeing. Look at Walt Disney looking like a dull, junky coral. This guy, oh man, shine, baby. All right, I'm going to move on from these corals, though. I think that's probably all. It's already over 20 minutes. Good Lord. Let me know what y'all think about these videos. If I need to shorten them up, if that will maybe help. I do want to say real quick, my notifications were off, and I was not getting any notifications. I thought no one was commenting, no one was liking. I actually was getting several comments, and I try to respond to all those. So I just want to say thanks to everyone that did do that. That was really cool to go see. I appreciate that, and it really means a lot to me. And I really want to grow this channel. There's a lot of things I want to discuss and try to help people, and bring you along on my reefing journey. Look at that 8-line. Good God, pretty. It's a pretty fish. Okay. Oh, and I did rehome that other fairy wrasse. Very easy to catch. Put him in a net. He just swam right in. I put a net in the water, put some food in there, he swam right in. What a dummy. All right. So again, thank y'all for commenting, liking my video. If you would, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I want to try to reach 1,000 subscribers. And by you just clicking that little button, that will hopefully get me there. We'll see. It's going to be hard. And then like and comment if you would like. If there's anything you want me to do a video on, please mention that. I'd be happy to if I know what I'm talking about. If I don't, I will let you know that as well. So I appreciate it, everyone. Thank y'all for watching.